Welcome to Songs at the Center, the weekly series that celebrates the art and craft of songwriting by bringing you great singer-songwriters and their stories. This episode features Liz Longley, an accomplished songwriter and fan favorite from Nashville.
When you got trouble, I got trouble too.
Amanda Pascali, an internationally acclaimed talent and 2021 Houston Chronicle Musician of the Year.
Temporary home.
And Canadian composer Abigail Lapell, who's won 3 Canadian Folk Music Awards.
And the pleasure of love is so brief.
Funding for Songs at the Center is provided by the James at Ohio State.
At the James at Ohio State, a cancer diagnosis is never routine. That's why we opened the James Cancer Diagnostic Center, a place where you can turn if you think you have cancer. Learn more at cancer.osu.edu/diagnostic center.
Funding also provided by Jobs Ohio.
Must be the love, because it's driving me crazy, baby. Must be the love, yeah, because it's driving me crazy. I haven't been the same since you came into my life. Hey!
Here's our creator and host, singer-songwriter Eric Gnezda.
Welcome to Songs at the Center. We're the show that explores the life of the singer-songwriter. And on this episode, we're very happy to be coming to you from Wilmington, Ohio, and the historic Murphy Theater. On this show, we have some fabulous songwriters, starting with Abigail Lapell and her accompanist, Emily Baker. Liz Longley. And Amanda Pascali and Addison Freeman. Liz Longley, originally from the Philadelphia area, now in Nashville, and we're so pleased to have you back on Songs at the Center.
Thank you for having me back. I feel honored.
Yeah, and you're going to do one of our favorites, When You've Got Trouble, and this is a song that, I mean, it's like everybody's favorite. I think if there's one song you play at every show, this is the one. But there's a nice history to it. You wrote it about somebody a friend who was facing depression, but that was a few years ago. Now you're a mother, and it's taken on new meaning for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I wrote this song almost 15 years ago in college.
Wow.
And in one good cry, and now I just hear it and feel it in such a different way now that I have a little girl at home.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to see you back on the road, and let's hear When You've Got Trouble.
You've been kicking in your sleep, tossing and turning relentlessly, and I know you'd be lying if you told me you were fine. And you've been screaming in your head, swallowing the words that I know you would have said if you would just breathe. Oh, my heart is tangled all around you. When you've got trouble, I've got trouble too. Oh, my life is arm in arm with you. When you've got trouble, I've got trouble too. So what do you need? I'll kiss you awake when you've had a bad dream, and I'll tell you a story, make it up as I go, or I'll sing you a song that I know that you know. It goes, my heart is tangled all around you. When you've got trouble, I've trouble too. All my life is arm in arm with you. When you got trouble, I've got trouble too. You and I live like the tree and the vine. Oh, my darling, we're so delicately intertwined. I'll ease your pain 'cause you've eased mine. Oh, my heart, it's tangled all around you. When you got trouble, I've got trouble too. Oh, my life is arm in arm with you. When you got trouble, I've got trouble too.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz Longley.
When I first wrote When You've Got Trouble, I was a college student, and so whenever I played it out and people had the response that that song reminded them of the love they had for their child, I ached to feel that way because I could only imagine. And now that I have a daughter, I think of her every time I play it. So it's definitely reinformed the way that I feel that song.
Amanda Pascali, thanks for joining our show. You're with Addison Freeman, and you have a very rich background. You were born in New York, and the Houston Chronicle, after you moved there, named you the Musician of the Year. But when you were young, you said that you found your mission because your parents were both immigrants. And one of the things that came out of that was a song called Temporary Home, and there's a kind of a cool story about this, the Roach story about your dad. Could you share that with us?
Yeah, so Temporary Home recounts the story of my dad as an immigrant in New York City in the 1980s. And when he first came to America, he had absolutely no connections, no friends, no money. And one day in his apartment that was falling apart, he got a letter from his mom, my grandma, that said something like, "How great is life in America? I can't wait to come see you there." And so he stepped on a roach that was crawling across the floor in his apartment and stuck it in an envelope and mailed it back to her as the response to that.
But, you know, your mom and dad fought, though, every step of the way to make a life here. And that's one of your themes is sticking up for yourself, fighting your own battles.
Yeah, I have the privilege to be an artist because they worked jobs that they didn't want to, because they worked hard doing things that were blue-collar jobs. My dad worked in a refrigerator factory. My mom answered phones. And now I'm able to do what I do because of the sacrifices that they made.
Well, let's hear Temporary Home.
I met him in the land where everybody says that anything can happen. He said, "I haven't seen the sun, and just as soon as I have made it, I swear I'm going home. I swear I'm going home." Every morning since he donned a uniform and boots, just like he did at home, and the factory in shades of muted black and white and blue, no color TV home, no color TV home. Temporary empty room, temporary telephone,
a man who worked the sickle with his hand and a voice that roared like thunder. He said the journey to the golden ground is just along the path down 7 levels under. Oh, temporary MC room, temporary sleep alone, temporary wings to fly to a temporary home. Ooh. Transport, no nation, no conversation. Where do you belong? No name and no passport. No, 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 no. Nobody waits for you no more. Nobody waits in this underground airport. Where do you belong? I said, ain't gonna let nobody turn you around. No, turn you around. No, turn you around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn you around. Where do you belong? I said, ain't gonna let nobody turn you around. No, turn you around. No, turn you around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn you around. Where do you belong? Oh, where do you belong? Oh, where do you Where do you belong?
Yeah. Amanda Pascali and Addison Freeman, thank you.
I want to tell the story of growing up as a Gen Z girl in the American South with immigrant parents. That's my story, but I also feel like it's the story of so many other people that hasn't really been told. And I think it's the story of this time that needs to be told. And my way of doing that is through my music and my songwriting.
We're coming to you this episode from the historic Murphy Theater in Wilmington, Ohio. Named for Chicago Cubs owner and Wilmington native Charles Murphy, the theater opened in July 1918. Fun fact, the theater is featured in the 2024 family comedy drama Nutcrackers, starring Ben Stiller.
Abigail Lapell, you're going to do a song for us that's coming, that just came out on your new album. And it's really interesting to me. You actually recorded this album in a 200-year-old church in Canada. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we recorded the album, the new album Anniversary was recorded in an old church in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, which is in Western Ontario, out in the country. And it was this beautiful couple hundred-year-old Anglican church in the middle of winter, so everything's shrouded in snow and very peaceful. And the space was kind of like this theater, this big, like really reverberant space. With big stained glass windows and light streaming in the windows. And it was very unlike other projects I've done in the past, recording in more of a traditional recording studio. Often you're kind of in a little booth with no windows. And this was just like such a big sound. And we recorded live off the floor with my band, so meaning we were all in the same room, no isolation, no click tracks, no headphones for the most part, just like playing music in this beautiful space.
Blue blaze
at the end of days. I woke up in an indigo cloud. My love long gone with the faded dawn, left me lying there crying out loud. Silver moon and a lonesome tune hanging heavy in gravity's arms. When you fell from the sky like a lullaby, left me spinning in an ocean of stars. How long is this longing? Moments dawning of sweet relief. A sad song lasts a whole life long, when the pleasure of love is so brief. Red, red rose in the alley grows through the cracks in the tattered concrete. Well, heaven knows that's the way it goes. Sometimes love is so thorny and so sweet. How far is forever? Now or never. What'll it be? I weep for love so deep, but no one is crying for me. Blue place in an indigo haze, and no one is crying for me.
Thank you, Abigail.
How to define a good song? That's such a great question. I think it's, for me, sort of the marriage of lyrics and melody. So melody to me is very primary, and I think a lot about songs that are catchy, kind of familiar, but with like a little something unexpected. So maybe like 90% familiar, but with a bit of a twist and something that kind of grabs you out of the ordinary. And I think to me, those are the songs that speak to me the most.
Liz Longley, like so many of us, Joni Mitchell was a great inspiration to you, and she taught you a lot. And one of the things that you've discussed is it's important. She taught you the importance of being true to yourself. But she also said that you're not writing your own diary, you're writing songs that belong in other people's diaries. And this gets to something that you and I talked about earlier, was that it was a real turning point for you when you finally realized that you're not up here singing for yourself, you're singing for the people. When did that come into focus for you?
I think writing has always been a cathartic thing for me, and there are songs that I've written that have been so personal that I didn't ever want to share them outside of my small family unit. And the first time I broke out of that and shared a really personal song about my grandmother who had Alzheimer's was the first time I realized, oh, there can be this really magical give and take, and hopefully other people can find their stories and feel less alone in whatever they're going through when they hear a song about it.
Isn't it strange how the most personal things end up being the most universal?
Yeah,
It's not really logical, but it turns out that way. Well, tell us about the song you're going to do now. It's off of an album coming out soon, I understand.
Yes, my latest record will be out in fall 2024, and it's called New Life. And it's songs inspired by being a new mom and the way I see the world now. And this is the first song that I wrote for my daughter when I just felt overwhelmed at the world that she's going to grow up in and wanted something to remind her of the things that are worth living for and fighting for.
Old friends, handwritten notes, last night's campfire smell on your clothes, the sound of the rain against the window, some things you can't get enough of, someone who knows just by the look on your face, the kind of laughter that makes your belly ache, Sunday mornings and mama's pancakes, some things you can't get enough of. Just when you've had it with the world, the way it twists you up, it's wicked and it's rough, it pulls you back and you wanna look away, you're just about to break, but you're swept up again. The sky, the way it looks tonight, some things you can't get enough of. The best dog you ever had, looking up at you with her chin in your lap, just enough time for an afternoon nap, some things you can't get enough of. A back scratching just the right spot, one more cup in the coffee pot, a song that unties your soul from a knot, some things you can't get enough of. Just when you've had it with the world, the way it twists you up, it's wicked and it's rough, it pulls you back and you wanna look away, you're just about to break, but you're swept up again. The sky, the way it looks tonight, some things you can't get, some things you can't get, some things you can't get enough of. Can you? Some things, oh, you can't get enough of.
Liz Longley, thank you very much. Amanda, thank you. Abigail. And thank you for watching. We hope that you'll tune in to TV stations all across America where you'll always find Songs at the Center. I'm Eric Gnezda, and we'll see you next time.
about Songs at the Center at songsatthecenter.tv. Funding for Songs at the Center provided by Jobs Ohio.
Must be the love, because it's driving me crazy, baby. Must be the love, yeah, because it's driving me crazy. I haven't been the same since you came into my life. Hey!
Funding also provided by the James at Ohio State.
At the James at Ohio State, a cancer diagnosis is never routine. That's why we opened the James Cancer Diagnostic Center, a place where you can turn if you think you have cancer. Learn more at cancer.osu.edu/diagnostic center.